Good morning. We're going to take a quick look at these 6 problems that should be easy follow-up to the problems that we were doing. These are definitely not harder than anything we've seen. So hopefully you got into these and you thought, oh man, I can just rock these out. And this took all of 5 or 6 minutes. So let's take a look. For number 5, it says, what is the sum of the measures of the interior angles? And this is all for polygon A. And when you look at polygon A, it's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 sides. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Just double checking. So that makes it a nonagon. Okay. So it's a 9-sided figure. So it says, what is the sum of the measures of the interior angles? It doesn't ask for 1 because it's not a regular polygon. So for that, we have to use that n minus 2 times 180, where n is the number of sides. So we say n minus 2 or 9 minus 2 times 180. And that, of course, is 7 times 180. And 7 times 180 is what? 1260, I believe. And so the sum of the interior angles of that polygon will be 1260. I don't know what each one of the angles is because it's not a regular polygon. They could all vary, but I do know that the total, just like the total in a triangle adds up to be 180, the total for that figure has to be 1260. Okay, but then you go, well, what are the exterior angles? What's the sum of the exterior angles? 360. Period. It doesn't matter how many sides, whether this is a nonagon or a heptagon or a dodecagon, it doesn't matter. The exterior angles always add up to be 360. Okay, so then let's take a look at numbers 7 and 8. Number 7 gives us a 7-sided figure, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7-sided figure. And these are the angles right here, y, 135, 140, 150, 120, 135, 120. And they would all have to add up to be what? Well, again, we start with the n minus 2 times 180. So that's 7 minus 2 times 180, which is going to be 5 times 180, which is 900. So that's the total that has to go right here, 900. Okay, with that in mind, I'll get rid of this. Would not encourage you to erase what's on your paper, but I'm just trying to save room for myself here. And so then I can combine this. So it says y plus, and if I add up these other 6 angles, what I got? 135, so we're up to 275, 325, 425, 445, 545, 580, 680, 700, 800. So it's y plus 800 degrees equals 900 degrees. Subtract the 800, and clearly y is 100 degrees. So then you go, well, what's x? Because again, this is not a regular polygon where they're all the same size sides and same size angles, but y and x in the picture are supplementary. So therefore, x would have to be 80 degrees because 180 minus 100 would be 80. Okay, moving on. This one is much more resembles the problems like we did last time we were together. We saw a lot just like this. So we've got to count up the number of sides, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 sides. And so we go, okay, so with a 5-sided figure, n minus 2 times 180, 5-sided figure, so that's 5 minus 2 times 180, which would be 3 times 180, which is 540. Okay, so the interior angles add up to be 540 in this picture. All right, and so that's what's going to help me figure out x. So then I can take these and I say, well, x plus 15 plus 4x minus 10 plus 3x plus 10 plus 2x plus 5 plus 3x. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's all 5 angles. Add up to be 540. So we combine them, x, 5x, 8x, 10x, 13x. 15 minus 10 is 5, plus 10 is 15, plus 5 is 20, plus 20 equals 540. So we can subtract 20 from both sides, and we get that 13x is equal to 520. If you divide both sides by 13, x is 40. What a wonderful clean number they give you. And it's funny because you could stop there and think you're done with the problem when you actually haven't addressed what they're asking. It says, what are the measures, moving that thing all over the place. What are the measures of the exterior angles? So those exterior angles are this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And to find those, I've got to take this x value and plug it in. All right. And so let's take a look at angle 1. Well, 40 plus 15 would be 55. So therefore I go 180 minus 55. That'd give me 125. Measure of angle 1 is 125. For angle 2, 4 times 40 is 160, minus 10 is 150, so we got 180 minus 150. Well, that gives me 30 degrees, okay? So then angle 2 is 30 degrees. For angle 3, we've got 3x, so 3 times 40 is 120, plus 10 more is 130, so 180 minus 130 is 50 degrees, okay? So angle 3 would have to be 50 degrees. Angle 4, we've got 2x, so 2 times 40 is 80, plus 5 more is 85. So we say 180 minus 85 gives me 95. Okay, so angle 4 would have to be 95 degrees. Angle 5, it says 3x. 3 times 40 is 120. So I could take 180 minus 120, and I would get 60 degrees. So angle 5 must be 60 degrees. Now, how could I double check to see if I'm right? Well, one thing you could do is you could add up all of your exterior angles because they have to add up to be 360. So I could take 125 and add 30 to it, and add 50 to that, and add 95 to that, and add 60, and let's see what I get. 5 plus 5 is 10. Put 1 up here. 1 and 2 is 3. 3 more is 6. 5 more is 11. 9 more is 20. 26. 6 here. Put 2 up here. 360. So I feel pretty good about my answers, that these are 125, 30, 50, 95, and 60 are the exterior angles because they add up to be that 360. All right, last problem of this section, and we're going to talk about this. This is probably the hardest one. So number 10 says we've got an n-gon with 6,120 degrees is the sum of the interior angles. And it wants us to know what's the measure of each interior angle. I'm guessing if there was any confusing problem, this was it. The fact that we have this thing called an n-gon. You go, what is an n-gon? Well, that is the number of sides. So we don't know the number of sides. Otherwise, this problem would be really easy. We know the sum of the interior angles, but we want to know how big each one is. So what's the connection that we know between number of sides and sum? Well, it would be n minus 2 times 180 always gives us the sum. And so what we can do is we can take this 6,120 and plug that in for the sum because we don't know the number of sides. So we say n minus 2 times 180 equals this 6,120 degrees. So you can divide both sides by 180 to solve for n. This goes away. You get n minus 2 is equal to 6,120 divided by 180 is 34. Add 2 to both sides, and you get n is equal to 36. So what does that mean? Not 36 degrees. I'm already doing it wrong. What that means is that the number of sides is 36. But we're asked how big is each interior angle. We're not asked how big or how many sides it has. But we got to start with this. Well, you have 2 ways of doing this right now. You know that the sum of the interior angles is 6,120. So what you can do is you can divide that by 36. Say 6,120 and say how many times that goes in. Well, it goes in, let's see here, 252 goes into there. Did I get that right? 5, 2, yeah. 36 goes into there. How many times? Let's see. 5, 6, 7. Okay, 7 times that would be 2. 4 up here, 7 times 3, 21, 25. Yeah, just making sure. Okay, so what we did here is we took the total, the sum of the angles, divided by how many angles there were, and this is the answer we got, 170 degrees. Each interior angle is 170 degrees. Now there's a little bit of a shortcut. Instead of doing all of this, what we could have done is just said, well, I know the number of sides is 36, and I know the exterior angles always add up to be 360, so you could divide that by 36, and you get each exterior angle has to be 10. And if each exterior angle has to be 10, the interior angles are always supplementary to it, so the interior angle would have to be 170. That's pretty simple. But you can do it either way. It doesn't matter. Okay, what we're going to do is we're going to pause the video right here as you guys get started on the next set, or maybe we'll just start a whole new video entirely. Okay?